Alright, let's get straight to business. My name's John, and we're going to be talking about procrastination. Mainly about how it's bullshit. Well, procrastination isn't really bullshit, but I feel like how most people talk about it is wrong. Most people look at procrastination as a very singular thing. Like, oh, you procrastinate about this or that. Which, I mean, it is, you procrastinate about singular things. But they don't tend to look at the whole picture about why someone's procrastinating. It's usually like, oh, I'm procrastinating about doing my homework for this one class, right? Instead of considering how much more there is. But I'm also not going to make the argument that, people have procrastination issues because they're being given, like instead of 1 or 2 pieces of homework, 10. I also don't think that it's because of a large amount of choices. Instead, I feel like procrastination mainly takes the form of not having anything else to do other than the thing that you have to do. For me, most of my friends would probably call me a procrastinator, right? Mainly because of how I did in school, which was none of my assignments, basically. However, that wasn't because I was a procrastinator, but rather because I said, fuck that shit. However, most people probably struggle doing their assignments on time because of procrastination, right? But you usually don't hear these stories from someone who is like going to be a valedictorian or whatever, right? You usually hear these stories from people who are just chilling. Literally only doing school, maybe playing video games, nothing else really. Now, I bring this up because recently I have been struggling with procrastination. And I only really started struggling with procrastination, okay, because of my job. Not because I got a job, but rather because I stopped getting many hours. I used to get way more hours, and then recently I've just stopped getting like any, which is kind of annoying. Now, this wouldn't be like a huge problem if it wasn't for the fact that I quite enjoy doing other things. I like posting Let's Play videos on YouTube. It's just fun. I enjoy talking, which is why I'm doing it right now. And it's enjoyable, but it's hard to find any motivation to do it, even though it's so easy. I mean, like, it really doesn't take that much work, especially because I enjoy it, because I have nothing else pressuring me, right? To me, based on my own personal experience, procrastination only seems to be an issue because of having nothing else to do. So when you have nothing else to do, right, other than the thing you need or want to do, it becomes way more difficult to even consider doing that thing. Alright, new game. But to elaborate further on my experience with like procrastination and everything, I feel like most of the problems arise when you have too much free time on your hands, right? Or just maybe not even just free time itself, but rather no obligations. And so that relates into further how you would actually fix procrastination. I don't think it's, something bullshit like, oh, you just have to do it, or gamifying stuff. I think gamification's the stupidest thing in history, by the way. I think the way to beat procrastination is not even to say, oh, I'll give myself a tougher deadline, but rather give yourself an obligation that you have to do, right? Like a job, or it can really be anything that you have to do that stops you from doing, that would eventually stop you from doing the thing that you have to do. Because when you have stuff that you have to do, it sort of forces you to do stuff the moment you can do them, right? So like, just to like compare it to myself and my own personal experience, it was a lot easier to record and edit videos when I actually had something else I had to do entirely. Even though that's kind of like counterintuitive, it isn't something that I plan to do or think about doing as much because I don't have anything stopping me. So I don't have to like plan around my schedule or anything else like that. When I had that external obligation to, go to my job or whatever, it made it way easier to plan around and do this, something that I actually enjoy. I even played my guitar more compared to now when I have like no hours. It's just way more difficult for no actual apparent reason to do these things that I want to do, which is kind of annoying because obviously I like doing them. And I think that plays into just fixing the procrastination problem for whoever you are, right? It's going to be way more simple and easy to actually finish what you want to do and achieve your goals, whatever that be just finishing a project or some homework or whatever. It's going to be way more simple to do that if you don't have the time to even not do it, which is why, procrastination usually leads to someone doing things at the last minute, because at that point you don't have any time to do this thing. So that's how I would suggest to solve any problems of procrastination. Don't fucking set a timer and say, or do something and say, I'll do it in an hour or this or that, right? And don't just, try to brute force and say, I'll do it, right? I'll just do it now. Well, I mean, obviously, you could do that. That would be the perfect thing to do. But still, like, struggling with doing anything. Ooh, God. With doing the things that you want to do, I suggest finding an obligation, right? Once you have this external thing, it'll be so much simpler to just do the things that you need to or want to do, because instead of being able to say that you can do it later, you literally don't have a choice to do it later. You have to do it, now. So that's all I wanted to talk about. Mainly, part of the reason why I want to talk about it is so that, if I say it out loud, maybe I'll actually, listen to my own advice and actually start doing these things that I enjoy more and not take so long with doing them. It's not like I really get anything out of, playing guitar or making YouTube videos. I just like doing it. So, it's annoying to me that I don't do it more, right? Maybe that's just a personal expectation problem, though, instead of a procrastination problem or some such. Thank you for watching. If this has helped you, great. If you have your own thoughts or your thoughts conflict with mine, tell me. I'd like to hear what you think. If you think I'm a dipshit or think there's a better way to do these things. So, all right. See ya.